a narrow waterway carrying nearly 1/5 of the world's oil, a growing geopolitical standoff, and a new warning from the United States that could impact global shipping. Shipping companies are now being told, if you pay Iran to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, you could face sanctions. So, what's really going on here, and why does it matter to the entire world economy? The United States has issued a warning to international shipping companies. According to the report, firms could face sanctions if they pay any kind of fee toll or payment to Iran for passage through the Strait of Hormuz, and this warning is broad. It includes direct payments, indirect transfers, barter arrangements, and even disguised transactions. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important choke points on Earth. It connects the Persian Gulf to the open ocean, and it's the only sea route for major oil exporters like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and Iran. Around 20% of global oil and gas shipments pass through this narrow stretch of water. That means any disruption here doesn't stay local. It hits global markets. It affects fuel prices, and it impacts economies worldwide. Reports suggest Iran has been attempting to impose fees on ships passing through the strait. These are being described as tolls or charges for safe passage. While the exact mechanism is unclear, the concern is simple. If ships pay, Iran gains leverage. If ships refuse, they risk operating in a contested maritime zone. The U.S. response is clear. Washington says any payment to Iran in this context could violate existing sanctions. And those sanctions are powerful. They can block access to U.S. banks, restrict dollar transactions, cut companies off from global financial systems, and impose penalties on non-U.S. firms too. This is called secondary sanctions, and it's one reason global companies take US warnings seriously, even if they are not based in America. So even if a shipping company is based in Europe or Asia, the risk is still real, because if they violate U.S. sanctions, they may lose access to global banking and insurance systems. And in shipping, that's essentially a shutdown. Shipping companies are now in a difficult position. The Strait of Hormuz is not optional, it's unavoidable. Rerouting around it would mean longer journeys, higher fuel costs, delayed deliveries, increased freight prices, but compliance with any local payment demands could expose them to sanctions. So companies are stuck between operational necessity and legal risk. This isn't just a regional issue. It's a global economic risk. If shipping through the strait becomes more expensive or uncertain, oil prices can rise, shipping insurance costs increase, supply chains tighten, inflation pressures grow. Even small disruptions in Hormuz can ripple across global markets within days. The Strait of Hormuz has long been a strategic pressure point between Iran and the West. Iran controls one side of the waterway, giving it geographic leverage. Meanwhile, the United States and its allies maintain naval forces in the region to ensure freedom of navigation. This is not new tension, but it is evolving. And now, financial pressure is becoming just as important as military presence. Sanctions are not just fines. They are restrictions that can isolate companies from the global financial system. Because most international trade depends on US dollars, US-linked banks, global insurance markets, being sanctioned doesn't just hurt profits. It can make it impossible to operate globally. There are a few possible outcomes. Scenario 1. Tensions ease and informal arrangements reduce pressure in the strait. Scenario 2. Shipping companies avoid all payments and rely on naval protection and compliance strategies. Scenario 3. Escalation leads to higher risk premiums, more disruptions, and increased volatility in energy markets. None of these outcomes are guaranteed, but all of them carry global consequences. The Strait of Hormuz is more than just a shipping lane. It is one of the most important arteries of the global economy. And right now it sits at the center of a growing legal and geopolitical standoff. The U.S. warning to shipping firms highlights a larger reality. In today's world, even the oceans are shaped by sanctions, politics, and strategic competition. So the question now is not just about shipping fees or sanctions. It's about how global trade continues to function in an increasingly divided world. If you found this breakdown useful, like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, how do you think this will affect global oil prices?